All right, let's kick this thing off. We are in the middle of Irwindale
We
right
are
now.
holding our microphones.
We're holding our
Back
mics,
to
so everyone
holding
can
the
yell at
mic
me.
again.
We're in the middle of Irwindale,
Yeah.
between 32 and 16. We're on Chris's
Literally in the
channel
middle of
again.
Irwindale. Yeah, it's halftime.
We got Adam, we got TJ back on to
Yeah.
talk some smack.
Yeah. We're trying to get TJ
Apparently,
out here.
I was requested to talk more.
You're doing great.
I'll do it with
last
Adam this
yeah.
time. It'll be good.
Yeah, so next time we're talking the Yeah, when are you coming out? What are you doing?
Whoa, easy,
Whoa, we're
easy.
going
I'm
hot into
a
it.
spectator. I got a pass. I shouldn't even be sitting here. You guys are the FD guys.
All right, so before we jump into questions like Drift Masters and FD, I had a fan question, which was, if you could keep only 2 cars from your collection, what are you keeping?
Ooh.
Go.
Me, Gold Leader and my Street Z. Yeah.
Boys?
You go.
Chaser GTR.
I was gonna say R34, my first BRZ.
Sick,
Solid.
dude. Sick.
What about you?
Well, I got 2 cars, so I'll keep both of those.
We gotta keep them both.
I'll keep both of those. Yeah, that's awesome. How's y'all's weekends going?
Solid. I mean, we peeled the car off the wall, but we're feeling 100%. You know, the car's been ripping. We've been feeling good. Had a bit of a throw-in with Thorn. He smacked in and dragged us in. So, but boys got it fixed. We were luckily, it was before the halftime breaks. We had like 4 hours to fix the car, so plenty of time.
You keep tire firing.
Yeah, it happens. Car's been working good. We had like a sensor crap out right as it was on the line, so I'm glad we got it sorted. I was just like, yo, unplug it, and it was perfect because it defaulted to the exact temp it needed to be, and it worked out. And then we had to use our 5 because exhaust fell off, but other than that, everything's been chilling.
Is that a titanium exhaust?
Yeah.
Do you think that's why your tire caught on fire?
Nah, it just does that. Okay. Yeah.
Does it like every time though?
Yeah.
Not every time.
When do you think FD is going to let us put our exhausts out the front?
Yeah, or just yeah. That'd be.
It's like dump your exhaust right next to your tire. Oh wow, my tire's on fire again.
Yeah.
Happens all the time. So, I don't know. It seems to be like, they say it's a safety thing, but it's now becoming a safety thing with the cars.
The fire marshals or whatever, they were ready for you.
Yeah.
They were like, he's
Oh,
coming.
you drove it right to him.
Yeah, I flung it in a little bit too hot at them. They got a little upset, but I'm just used to it at this point.
Yeah, like, I am in control.
Whenever I'm watching the stream, they literally talk about your tire catching on fire, and they go, "Oh, Adam going right to the marshal." It's like known
It's like,
now.
Knew it.
Well, it's good for merch sales, so that's why we don't correct the problem, because we sell shirts with the tires on fire. So if we fixed it,
There it is.
Yeah.
That's why. Well, Duarte's really just pouring a little bit of gas on the inside of it every time. They're trying to get it.
Yeah, the gas goes right over the tires.
Yeah, it's
so
like,
we
oh
actually
no.
inject it in the tire, so that way when we're done,
Smart. Yeah, see, it helps them stay seated.
yep.
All right, so think about this. TJ, you're starting to compete more and more, right? And Adam, obviously, you've been on this kind of like gnarly path of competing in Drift Masters and FD and clutch kickers, right? Like, so one of the other questions I had from a fan was like, do you feel like as YouTubers, and then now you're competing and you're on multiple stages doing really, really well, do you feel like, hey man, like I am not just a YouTuber anymore? Like, you know the whole like YouTube versus driving, and then guys are like, well, you're just a YouTuber, but now you're like, I've been boxing everything.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I feel like I haven't identified as a YouTuber for a really long time. I definitely like pride myself on the shop and building cars and now competing. Like, I'm super proud of the team that I've built at the compound, both like Drift HQ, the race team, the merch team. So like, I probably identify more as like a business owner / like race team owner than I do as like a YouTuber.
I fully agree.
Yeah. And what I like about your setup is it is lean and mean.
Yeah.
Like, it is awesome. You got your guys, you got your stuff. It's just like, you know, dead essential. It's just out here to kill it. You know, it's awesome.
I mean, you too, you got a small rig, but it's a nice rig. Like, this is what we need, and this is what we wanted, but then COVID happened and everything got so expensive that I was like, all right, I'm just getting a used trailer and I'll just ride it out until prices come down. Yeah. And they still haven't come down. Right?
That's like what happened with me. I picked this up like right in COVID time. I got rid of the toter, got this, and just like scaled down, and we've been enjoying it. You know, it's just like so much less overhead, like running the huge rig, which is all you do is fill it with more stuff.
And you can unhook the truck and you can use the truck too. So you save money on rental.
Drive to dinner.
It's great. No, I did the same thing. I sold my toter during COVID because like toters were going for so much money. It was like, you'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, cash out.
So TJ, is this dude like kind of inspiring your drift path or your racing career? Like, where do you see yourself racing soon?
I probably call and talk to Adam more than anyone about drifting than like any one of my friends. So like I don't know like what I like identify as, but Adam has been a really big like factor in being like, hey, if Adam can do it and Adam can like make that path and show that it is possible, it's definitely like encouraged me to do it, because coming from like the YouTube side and like everything that comes with that, Adam was the first person to like be like, I'm going to use these relationships I have with said sponsors and show them that I can bridge the gap, which is like huge for like our just the internet side of everything. So like it's definitely something that I look at and I'm like, okay, and I call Adam and ask him questions about this and that. I haven't built my damn cars at this point. So like I definitely like use that. Like I'm like, cool, I got him, I'm going to use them. And try to learn as much as I can from him. That's like the biggest thing I try to like take from it. But
do you think in a few years you'll try to run out here at FD with these boys?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's ready. I mean, I know you guys have seen him drive, but he's a driver.
Yeah.
TJ, you are not a YouTube guy. You are a driver. When you're in the car, he clocks in.
And even not in a drift car, you're fast.
Yeah, the rush stuff's fun. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely want to do it, but I just don't want to rush it. I want to do it at the right time. And like, I talked with Adam about this. The thing that I am scared most of is coming to FD and then just not being able to perform and having a poor representation for myself and my team and everyone, and like having that as a reflection of me, which I've also talked to Adam about.
But
I'm like, how do you balance that?
There's a lot of pressure.
That's
like you
everyone's
coming in. People be watching. They want to see you perform immediately, even though almost no one does, right? Very, very few drivers come in and immediately like, get to like top eights. Right?
Exactly.
It's a learning curve.
It's
you know,
just
like look at Hobson. You know, he was a pro spec champion, and coming into FD, new car, new team, like those are his growing pains. And we know that he's an accomplished driver. So, you know, even if you come in, it's like it's just a new battlefield.
I want to do it. I just want to do it when I know the time is right.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'm wondering when you're going to start a band.
Me?
Yeah, dude. You're going to start a band or what?
Maybe.
Wouldn't that be sick?
I've only had more time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I need time for band practice.
You know what's funny? I literally see him on the guitar, and I've told myself for like 15 years, like I want to learn how to play guitar before I die, right? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I see these multiple videos from him, like, how the does he have time for?
Well, that's another question I get at, like about you guys. I get asked a lot, which is like, well, what do they do when they're not racing, or what do they do to turn off and relax? And like, I don't even know if y'all turn off.
TJ, honestly, like, he's been a big influence on me getting more life balance with the work. Because I remember, what was it, like, it had to have been like maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I was still uploading daily. And TJ is like, yo, don't do that anymore. He's like, YouTube actually works better if you upload every other day. Yeah. That was like game changing for my life. And then like going and visiting him and seeing him just like, he just in the hot tub, like hanging out and doing all this stuff. And I'm just like, man, I need to do more of that. So like, I've definitely like looked up to him for his balance that he's created. And I've put a lot of that like into action in the past couple of years.
Hell yeah.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, yeah, you need to have a balance. I've been trying to find that balance too. You know, just having like little bit of like personal time. You know, you got to carve that out. It helps everything.
Yeah, for sure. It's very important. The work-life balance is like, wow. But I will say, nothing makes me laugh harder when it's like West Coast time, 9 p.m. and it's like LZ, news story is just ripping the guitar. Me and Sabrina are like, go to bed, Adam. It's so funny. But I go to his house and he has like 4 guitars. It's like, last time I was there, it was just a vomit of guitars and amps. And,
Dude, he has a custom painted one. It's sick.
Dude.
It's getting kind of bad. Like I was on grid yesterday during practice buying a guitar on Yahoo Auctions.
Weren't you just in Drift Masters asking for a guitar or something?
Well, so here's the thing. I get the same satisfaction as buying a car, but it's cheaper. And if I get stuff for deals, then I can always sell it.
So yeah,
right?
Awesome. I love like the
and they're
same
small.
thing.
You can fly with them on the plane. You don't need to ship them.
That's just the most LZ thing to do. Like,
It's great.
fly to another country.
I have one in my trailer.
I bet you do. No,
sick.
I bet. It's just,
I do that all the time.
it's such an LZ move to do that. It's so funny. Very on brand. I
All
respect
right,
it.
we got to cruise soon, so we got to wrap this thing up already. But what's the biggest difference between Drift Masters, right? You wanted to know something about Drift Masters versus FD.
As someone that's like, been doing FD for several years, and going to Drift Masters, not like, because like James would have a different perspective. Connor would have a different perspective. Like, you kind of came up through U.S. drifting, then went over there. One of the few to do that, right? So yeah, we wanted to see what your perspective was on what it was. Not saying like, oh, what do they do that's better, and like, how could FD improve? But it's more so like, just what did you kind of like and dislike about their events?
Sure. I think the biggest thing, obviously, and it's talked about a lot, is just the tire is so much more ridiculous than ours. Yeah. Like the first lap I did on a Drift Masters track on that tire, I was just like, what the f? Like it makes us feel like we are driving in the rain right now, which sounds ridiculous, but it is that.
The front holds.
Yeah, it can, but like the thing that I don't like is you have to take all the chassis out of the car to be able to drive on the tire. So FD, it rewards teams that are really good with like chassis and suspension setup. Yep. Over there, even if your setup is so wrong, you just run 2 pounds less tire pressure than the other guy, and you're good. Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. Like, I've prided myself a lot in the past year or two of like understanding setup and being able to give myself what I need to win and have strategy. There, it's just like, it's pretty much all just driver.
What about the scheduling and like the actual like run of show? Like, not in the car, but like, how does it feel there as a show?
I would say it's pretty similar to FD. I would say it feels a little bit more grassroots actually behind the scenes. Like, it's maybe because it's kind of like I don't want to say a traveling circus, like not in a negative way, but because everyone's out of their element in a different country. All the teams and like the actual organization, like, is a little bit more like down to earth, like kind of bro-y. Like, imagine if you mix FD with like OG clutch kickers. Yeah. That's kind of the vibe, which I've grown to really like.
Cool. Yeah. Reminds me of the early days of FD. The same thing, we didn't really know what we're doing, and that makes sense. Like, you're in different countries. There's a little more like, hey, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours next time. You know, that still exists here a little bit, not like it used to. You know, like, you still got guys that, you know, like Cash came across earlier, we threw him a brake rotor, you know, and like somebody else came over, we're like throwing him the welder, and so that still kind of happens. But yeah, the tire thing, I totally see. It reminds me of when when I was doing those China events, the D1 events in China. Dude, you go walking across the track, it peels your shoes off. Like, it was, like you said, it was just all tire.
I mean, you could use 2,000 horsepower in that series, and you could put it to the ground.
Damn. What tire size are they using?
285s.
Well, what's in the compounds like?
Technically, I don't think there's any rule. You can run whatever. Yeah.
Wow. There's just no need for more.
Yeah, no one can make a reliable engine program.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like fully unlimited.
Yeah. And no weight rule either. So like, I would say the average Drift Masters car is probably like 2,500 pounds with someone in it.
Damn.
Maybe 2,600. But like,
what's the FD?
28s plus?
Oh, like the lightest cars. Like, well, Stukey's the lightest car, but he's running on a 55. Yeah. You know.
What's he weigh?
I think it's like 2,600. We're 3,000 pounds on a 295.
I mean, my car here is 400 pounds heavier than my car for Drift Masters.
Oh.
Yeah.
And when you're just putting weights in the car? Or you just left more in it?
No, just that car we just built to be lighter.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. We went kind of like gnarly with that car. Like, all the hardware is titanium, like titanium, whatever we could make.
No dollars.
Very minimal.
Spared, yeah.
Like you literally have to build the car and be like, how can I do this so I don't need an extra bolt here? Yeah. Because it adds up.
You guys got a bill of block in that thing?
No.
No?
Nope. Yeah, the engine program, because we're overseas, I want it to be like as simple as possible. We started no nitrous, less power, and I put the money in the weight savings versus trying to make more power.
Yeah, because the bill of blocks, like, I don't think they're much lighter, right? They're just stronger.
I think you might save, don't quote me on this, but maybe like 50 pounds or so. Yeah. The problem is you have to be so regimented about keeping the engine at the same temperature because of how much more it expands and contracts that it's really hard to make work in drifting.
Yeah, those China cars, every 2J there had a bill of block.
Really?
And they were working on magnesium blocks. Wow. I don't think they ever did it, but they were like, they need to be lighter. And I'm like, how much lighter these cars need to get? It's like same thing. Like, you get up close to those cars and it's like, oh my God, don't lean on it. You know, like they're paper.
So most people there are trying to put more weight over the nose too, so you actually wouldn't want to do that. Like, I think if I had my car there, just with the front radiator and everything, I think it would actually handle better, just because it's so hard to get the front to stay planted.
Well, that's what I was asking, like, are you pushing through the fronts with those tires? Yeah. And it makes sense. So, no, that's wild, yeah. I can see that, but no, I like to hear that there's like still some good camaraderie over there, especially since there's like 60 plus drivers?
No, especially because like usually every country that you're in, it's one driver's home country, so they become the plug for whatever you need in the local area. They're like, oh, come over to my shop, like, you go use my alignment guy, you need to get your frame pulled, here's my frame pull guy. So you just make friends with the local drivers because of that.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, it's I mean that's awesome to see because you know, it is obviously the other biggest, you know, drifting sanctioning body right now. You know, I would say, and they're doing it, you know, kind of globally in the respective like you know, multiple countries, you know, throughout Europe, and we're just kind of like covering a, you know, maybe a larger footprint, but all stateside. So, but that's awesome.
In Formula Drift, you guys have been doing the same kind of run of show for.
Yeah, exactly. It's been pretty, I don't want to say rinse and repeat, but we have been pretty much, you know, doing the same show with just the cars have been kind of growing, drivers are getting better, more drivers coming in, kind of elevating people at the same time, but mostly running the same tracks with very similar, you know, judging, you know, minor changes over the years of judging. Yeah, we got like 3 minutes left. So.
I know, yeah.
We gotta get to the hot takes.
Yeah.
Come on, TJ.
Oh, yeah,
Hot
we're going
takes.
right in.
Adam's in the hot seat. All right, Adam. If you had to say which series you like driving more in, Drift Masters or FD, what's your answer?
This year, on track or off track?
On track?
I believe you're on track.
Yeah, on
Well,
track.
no, on track, FD, off track, Drift Master.
Why? Because of the community or something?
I just getting to travel, getting to, like, everyone's so cool and like.
New experience.
That was a very political neutral answer.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
good at this.
That's okay. We're gonna dig deeper. Okay. If you had to make a bet, saying next year, if you had to put your money on one side, Adam's gonna finish higher in FD or finish higher in Drift Masters overall season, which series would you bet money on yourself to finish higher?
FD.
Okay. Next question.
I believe that.
What driver in FD? I say hate loosely. I mean like that you line up against and you're like, oh, I have to go against this guy. Who are you like, I hope I don't have to go line up against this guy in FD?
So I'm gonna do it the politically correct way.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say I'm just trying to think of like who's the nicest person here that I would hate to line up against because I don't want to win.
Oh my gosh.
God.
He's
Come
so
on.
sweet. He's so sweet.
God. Well, my next question was going to be for Drift Masters, but you're going to give me the same answer. I asked Chris, I'm like, Chris, who do you hate? You line up against, and you're like, I don't want to drive against this guy. Because he's really good, or you guys get into
Chelsea.
it? Yeah, which was
just because like half the times I'm not carnage, we're not wrecking each other out, but like we're aggressive, right? When we're running each other. And I think he's been edging me out. I think we're like 6-4 now. We've had a pretty wild couple years.
He used to always roll me on the run up and I'd get
Oh, yeah.
so mad.
Oh, yeah,
The run
because
would be
then you start
over.
seeing red.
Before I even enter, the run was over. And I was like,
Those Nitto boys, you know how that is.
dude, when I line up against a Nitto car, I'm just like, God damn it. They're so fast on the run up. Yeah, I've been struggling keeping up with cars here.
Yeah.
Just that run up, man. I can't keep the traction.
I was going to say with your run with Rome, on the entry to bank, he had 3 cars on you, but you caught up mid-bank.
Yeah, my car's fast. It's just on the run up, I just can't keep traction for the second half of the run up.
Exactly.
So I just
Y'all are
get rolled
you
there.
both are burning out before you enter in.
You have a hot take for him? Come on, dig deep.
I know.
Dig deep.
Yeah. Nate, you go first. I got to think for a second.
Dude, I got to keep you guys on track, bro. You guys got to go out in like 4 minutes.
Well, I still got to eat.
I know.
It's okay, food's not here yet.
Get it, dude.
Man, I'm struggling hard here.
I got one.
Yeah, fire me up.
Okay. All right. Today, based on how both you guys have been driving, you got Forsberg versus LZ in top 8. Who's winning? Ooh, duke it out. What's the answer? Who's gonna win? No, I'm just saying, hypothetically. If you guys go up against each other today, who's winning?
Y'all battled before, right?
I will say, oh yeah, many a times. Yeah. And I've gotten LZ every time but last time. he finally cracked that egg the last time we met up.
Gotcha.
What event was that?
I don't even remember.
I don't know. It was this year.
Was it?
It was this year. Yeah, you got me. All right. I was bummed.
Yeah. Not Road Atlanta.
No, it wasn't.
Would it have
Orlando.
been
He went out.
Seattle, maybe?
Was it Seattle? I forget which one, but it was this year. We lined up, and I was like, undefeated against this guy, and I blew it. Damn. I thought he was gonna have a mental game, but no, he took me out. Yeah, it was good.
Oh, I got one for you. What? Do you feel that some drivers, when they line up with you, get extra nervy because it's Adam LZ?
I hope not.
I always was.
Really?
We ran each other. It was like your first year in pro in Long Beach. I had you in 32, and I was like, God damn it, this is a lose-lose situation for me.
I would imagine if I was going against you and I was an FD, but I wasn't like a YouTuber, I'd be like, damn, if I lose to Adam and he's new, you know, there's all this like, you lost to him when he's a rookie. But then, like, if you beat him, it's like, oh, well, you should have beat him. And then you're also, you're Mr. LZ here. So it's like, I feel like there's a lot of, you have an angle of like, you.
I like that. I need to use that more.
You bring a mind game, 100%.
Well, like I can tell, like we lined up in Long Beach, and I got you there, but it was like a herky-jerky entry. That was like that wet, patchy crap.
No, I had a clutch failure.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was really bummed about that.
So what I was gonna say was, yeah, ever since you got in the 36, you just switched on. Yeah, it's been a rip.
Yeah, you were, pretty immediate switch too. When you got in that car, it was like fucking business.
All right, let's go to top 16.
Let's do
All right,
it.
good luck.
Yeah, you do.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Adam.
Yeah, of course.